Hello, everybody. I'm Britt Johnson. I'm here with former Dallas Cowboys player and new cast member of Season 41 Survivor, Danny McCray. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Excited for tonight.
Yes, it's a big night.
Premiere night, and it's also my daughter's birthday. So
happy birthday! 1 year old. 1 year old.
So did her birthday party this morning, and then now she gets to hang out and see Daddy on TV.
That's awesome. He is also my coworker. Me and Danny do a podcast Monday through Friday called The Players Lounge at 12:30 Central. Shameless plug there. And he is the Youth Academies manager for the Dallas Cowboys. So you played 6 seasons in the NFL, and Frank Gifford once said, in the league, there are not winners, there are only survivors. So 6 seasons in the NFL, you were already a survivor. Why did you decide to do Survivor?
Yeah, so after I stopped surviving in the NFL, I found myself at home with a whole bunch of idle time. All my friends were working their normal jobs, and I was just sitting at home by myself. So I started looking at the streaming service and trying to find something to watch to take up my time, and Survivor popped up. Found season 15. I watched the first episode, and I was literally hooked from that point on. Just binged it, and then the wife came home from work, and then we watched season 16. And then, so we just kept doing that for maybe like 2 or 3 months, and we finished all seasons up to season 35. And then I just so happened to see my old teammate Alan Ball on season 35. So at that point, I was like, I definitely got to do this.
Well, let me tell you, this has got to be the most highly anticipated season just because we have not seen it for a year. COVID happened, it had the first season, or season 40 aired. There was supposed to be season 41 airing last year, but did not happen because of COVID. And now we're a whole year later, and we're here. Now, I have to ask, were you originally already on the cast before all this happened? Or was it, they kind of found out they had to shut it down and then they just recently cast you guys for it?
Yeah, it's crazy because I was actually about to leave last March. So we were supposed to leave on March 16th, and then everything got shut down on like March 13th. So I got that phone call from the Survivor production cast, and they were like, hey, we're not going to be able to do it. Hopefully we'll be able to pick it back up sometime soon. And that soon turned into a year.
Wow.
And throughout that year, my wife got pregnant. I ended up having a little girl, and the timing worked out perfect, so I didn't have to miss any of the pregnancy or the delivery. I was there for the first 6 months, and then it was time to go.
So this kind of reminds me of, honestly, the Olympics last year. Everybody had prepared, getting ready for the Olympics, and then they're like, just kidding, no Olympics. You worked so hard to get to that point, and then now you have a whole year break, and honestly, you didn't know when you guys were going to restart. So did that time off kind of help your preparation or hurt it a little bit?
I would say it helped. Over that next year, I ended up losing an additional 12 pounds. I was trying to work on my diet, eating as little as possible and doing some workouts, trying to see how my body reacted to it, just to see if I'll be able to survive on the island. So I had a full extra year to get ready. So I was slim, lean, and in shape when I went on that show.
Now, you mentioned your former teammate, Alan Ball. He was on the show as well. You're actually the 4th Cowboys personnel person. Jimmy Johnson was on the show as well. Did you contact him for any advice? Did he give you any good pointers? Basically, did you get his playbook of what to do and what not to do?
I actually didn't. So when I first saw him on the commercial, I texted him and asked him just to make sure it was him. He's like, yeah, that's me. But at that point, he really couldn't tell me anything. So maybe a couple years later, I saw him. We were working out together. And I asked him, like, hey, like, was it difficult living out there, not having a bed, phone? He's like, that's not the hard part. The hard part is dealing with the people and the personalities, right? And if you watch his season, you'll see that he had a problem with some people that were on his tribe. So I kind of picked up what not to do by watching him on the season.
What not to do, perfect. Well, what did your preparation consist of? What did you do?
So when I first found out I was going on the show, it was 2019, so Coach Mike Wojcik was still here as the strength coach. So I walked down to his office, asked him what I needed to do to be prepared to go on the show. He found a card for me, drew it up, told me exactly what I needed to do, ran me through some workouts, and that's how my preparation started. And then when I got my extra year, we didn't have the weight room, so me and a group of friends started working out on Zoom in the garage. I would run 5 to 6 miles, not eat as much, bought some stuff to start a fire, just so I would know how to do it when I got out there.
What do you think your strength was going into this season?
I would say being able to manage the locker room how I did when I played. So I was actually voted captain by my peers, and just being able to be on special teams and work with people on offense, work with people on defense, people to make a lot of money, people to make a little money, and get them to listen to what you're saying and buy in and gaining their respect. Being able to take that out to the island, I would say I would consider that one of my strengths.
That's interesting because I thought you were going to say something physical, like I could run faster than everybody. But this part of, Survivor, just like football, it's a lot mental as well as physical. What was more difficult for you, the mental side or the physical side?
I think I would say mental, because what happens is you're used to this comfort, right? And especially us being in a pandemic. So I was around my wife every day, 24 hours a day. I was around my kid, had a phone, had TV, comfortable bed. Then you go out there and you're stripped of all of that, right? So you have to find out a way to process that and continue to move forward. And that was difficult. I think the physical part, I knew what that was going to be. You don't win any challenges by being bigger, faster, or stronger, because they want to make it fair for women, men, older and younger. So that was kind of more of a pain tolerance type of thing, just based off what I've seen from past seasons.
So you've done both. What is more difficult, the NFL or Survivor? Everybody wants to know this one.
I will say this: the NFL to me was a lot tougher, just because of all that it entails. Right? It's like when you go on Survivor, you're away from your family, your friends. It's really just you trying to concentrate on the game. Being in the NFL, making the team, being a free agent, having to worry every single day for 6 years if you're going to be
still
on
about
that
life
roster,
as well.
right? And then then your family and finances and all that is just it takes a lot.
Well, there are 18 contestants on the season, and I'm excited because this season is actually the most diverse season they've had. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So CBS now has a mandate where on their reality TV shows, 50% of the cast has to be people of color. So this is the first season of Survivor where that mandate is in effect. So you will see the most diverse cast. People at home who hadn't watched Survivor will now be watching, because they'll see themselves be represented more on the TV show. You'll see the background of a lot of great people, and I think it's going to be a really incredible season.
What does that mean for you as a black man?
It's great, man, because I watched the show, and as I'm binge watching the show, you would see maybe one or two African American people on the show at a time. So you would wonder, like, are black people applying for the show, or are they just not into this type of stuff? And I think this season you'll see that, we want to play the game as well, and Survivor is open to letting us have that chance.
So there's going to be a ton of more viewers this year. I know a lot of people, after they watch this season, are going to want to apply. What is that process like? How did you get started? What did you have to do in that process?
Yeah, so I like everybody else, I made my video. Funny story. I made my first video without my wife knowing. I sent it in, it was trash. She went to the grocery store, came back, it was horrible. And then I finally cracked and was like, hey, you want to help me make this video? And she was all in. She set me down, told me what to put on, got the camera angle right. I applied, and they called me back the next day, and they were like, hey, we want you to meet with these people. If they like you, we'll fly you out to LA so you can meet some more people and see if you pass. So the process took about 6 months.
Wow, that is a long time. Well, thank you so much. We are so excited to watch you on this show. Season 41 of Survivor airs tonight. I hope we can continue to see you every single week. I'm Britt Johnson. This is Danny McCray. We'll see you next time.